Hi everyone, we are Team 4 today. Our team presents the Adidas Future Fit Supply Strategy, a comprehensive response to the April 2025 tariff shock, the broader sustainability and resiliency challenges. We will describe both a tactical response to the immediate tariff pressures and a long-term strategic roadmap for a more resilient and low-carbon supply chain. Adidas is the world's number two sportswear brand, operating in over 160 markets with more than £21 billion in revenue, but its 95% Asia-based outsourced production creates major concentration and disruption risks. Over 80% of logistics move by ocean, and more than 90% of emissions come from Scope 3 suppliers, amplifying sustainability and cost pressures. Combined with forecasting gaps and circularity complexities, and as well as supply shocks, the current model is strained. To stay competitive, Adidas needs a future-fixed operating model that rebalances sourcing, shifts to low-carbon logistics, and integrates planning across value chains. About 32 to 35% of the current POs come from China, leaving the company fully exposed to the new 125% US tariff and driving immediate margin erosion. Another third of volume sits in Vietnam, India, Cambodia, and Indonesia, where capacity and ESG gaps limit flexibility. We are constrained by long Asia lead times, reliance on China for technical materials, and rising global trade risks. To respond, we will shift low and mid complexity orders to Vietnam and India, accelerate nearshoring for launch critical SKUs, retain only essential technical China orders, renegotiate impacted contracts, and cancel or consolidate low margin and tariff heavy SKUs.
The future buying strategy focuses on shifting production away from China to build a more resilient, cost-effective, and sustainable supply chain. In Asia, the recommendation is to reallocate greater volumes to Vietnam and India. Vietnam is ideal for high-tech footwear due to its mature supplier base, strong scalability, and lower carbon impact, while India provides excellent capability for high-volume basics and natural fibers, supported by lower carbon costs and expanding capacity. China remains strong in complex materials and mass production, but its carbon footprint and sourcing transparency are ongoing challenges. The second pillar is expanding nearshoring in Mexico and Central America. Mexico offers unmatched speed to the US market, duty-free access under the USMCA, and strong manufacturing reliability. El Salvador provides cost advantages, vertical integration, and sustainable production practices, all with duty-free access to the US. The assessment compares baseline China sourcing with diversified mixes and incorporates tariff-adjusted unit economics, logistic shifts, and sensitivity to wage inflation, FX, and fuel prices. For Ultra Boost, a shift to 70% Vietnam and 20% India lowers manufacturing costs while keeping 10% in China for tooling continuity. Superstar sneakers benefit most from nearshoring, with 60% moving to Mexico and 30% to India, dramatically reducing lead times and improving working capital efficiency. Predator soccer cleats, being highly technical, move 80% to Vietnam due to its strong footwear ecosystem. Forum low shoes shift toward 50% India and 30% El Salvador, leveraging lower labor cost and FX stability. Across all products, tariff scenarios from 0% to 40% show that diversification consistently reduces overall landed cost and protects margins as China tariffs rise.
Using four core sustainability metrics CO2 footprint, water impact, label standards, and certification we establish a weighted scoring model to evaluate each factory's performance. These weights reflect Adidas' priorities, giving more influence to carbon reduction and labor conditions. When we compare the previous China dominant sourcing model with the proposed diversified mix, we see a clear improvement across every sustainability dimension. Overall, this results in a plus zero point 0.6 uplift in the total sustainability score. Translating these scores into real world expectations, we project a 20 to 30% decrease in emissions, better performance on water risk, and stronger alignment with Adidas compliance and human rights standards.
Let's get on to how Adidas is strengthening its operations through three core strategies. We're scaling circular systems to cut material risk and carbon impact. We're redesigning the supply network with more flexible and regional options to improve resilience, and reduce tariff exposure. And we're using AI to enhance forecasting, inventory decisions, and real-time allocation. Together, this shifts position Adidas for a more agile, sustainable, and data-driven future. We're shifting from pilot to circular scale. Global take-back programs will handle over 2 million returns by 2026 and past 3 million in 2027. Resale becomes a core channel as archive and remade move into retail and digital. By 2027, 40% of our polyester will come from closed-loop feedstock, supported by circular hubs in Cambodia and India. This cuts virgin polyester by a third, reduces tariff exposure across 9,000 units, and stabilizes material costs. It also lowers emission by about 40% per circular unit. Circular material use reaches 35%. Virgin cost exposure drops 25%, and resale contributes 6% to margin, supported by a supply chain optimized for returns and circular first planning. We've defined three network paths. Option one focuses on precision, high complexity work stays in China, mid complexity shift to a Vietnam, Indonesia buffer, and tariff triggered micro batching keeps costs low, though it maintains China reliance. Option two is the dynamic Asia mesh, using Vietnam, Indonesia, and India as core nodes with real time reallocation, a 30% flexible block and a 10% nearshore layer. It offers high quality, high agility, but requires advanced digital orchestration. Option three creates regional carbon clusters in North America, Europe, and Latin America, supported by circular microfactories. It delivers the highest CO2 reduction and tariff resilience, but requires more investment and slower initial scale. AI now underpins are forecasting and margin protection. It identifies tariff exposed units and reallocates production across Vietnam, Indonesia, and India, removing more than $2 million in tariff risk and preventing major markdown losses. Our digital twin enables real time reallocation, including rerouting 4,000 units during Vietnam port congestion with minimal delay, and predictive inventory tools flag early overstock risk, protecting margin on key sustainable product lines.
This slide explains our plan to build a stronger, more sustainable, and more reliable supply chain. First, we are shifting where we source our products. We will increase production in Vietnam, Indonesia, and India. This helps us depend less on China, avoid tariffs, reduce cost, and improve delivery times. Next, we focus on ESG aligned procurement. This means we will work more with suppliers who use renewable materials, follow compliance rules, and have lower carbon footprints. We will also link our purchase order to their CO2 and sustainability performance. The third part is improving our planning. We will use AI and digital twins to better predict demand and reduce waste. We also plan to improve logistics by moving more than 90% of our transport to sea or rail and keeping air freights below 5%. We will also connect circular programs like resale and take back into planning. Our roadmap has three phases. First, we audit high risk suppliers, then we shift and optimize our sourcing network, and finally, we add circularity and AI into end to end planning. Together, these steps help us reduce cost, lower emissions, and build a resilient supply chain. We are preparing for three major risks in our supply strategy. First, Vietnam, India, and Indonesia may not have enough capacity right away to take large order shifts from China. To manage this, we will reallocate orders in phases, keep backup suppliers, and build stronger long term partnership. Second, new suppliers may not meet our sustainability or quality standards. We plan to reduce this risk by using faster ESG audits, starting with the small pilot orders and supporting suppliers with digital training and monitoring tools. Third, political and regulatory changes like the recent 125% US tariff on China can disrupt sourcing. To stay protected, we will diversify across regions, use digital twin for scenario planning, and monitor geopolitical risk through trusted intelligence platform. These actions help keep our supply chain stable, flexible, and ready for change. The Future Fit supply strategy delivers strong impact across cost, sustainability, and service levels. On cost, we expect 15 to 20% savings in the short term by reducing tariffs and improving sourcing decisions. Over time, we unlock 35 to 45% more efficiency through the Asia Mesh model and shifting more transport to sea freights. AI forecasting also helps cut down markdowns and lower inventory cost. On sustainability, we can reduce Scope 3 emissions by 20 to 30% by limiting air freight and working with more renewable powered suppliers. We are also moving towards 100% recycled polyester by 2025. Better planning reduces overproduction and waste, supporting our net zero goals. On service and resilience, we project a 25 to 30% improvement in fulfillment reliability thanks to multi-region sourcing and digital integration. Lead time falls with more nearshoring and local for local execution, and overall network becomes more agile during geopolitical or demand shocks. These combined impacts strengthen cost performance while advancing sustainability and supply stability. Thank you, Adidas, for giving us the opportunity to work on the Future Fit Challenge. We truly appreciated the chance to explore sustainable supply chains, global operations, and circular innovation. Your commitment to purpose driven performance inspires us, and we are grateful for the learning and guidance this challenge provided.